John Wick is one of I would say, the number one action franchise that's remaining relevant in 2024. The fact is, in general, back in the 90s, R rated action movies were a bigger deal, were more important than they are now. They're not as relevant or important as they used to be, but John Wick is a rated R action franchise that is absolutely going strong. Because think of how much money the movies have made, how well received they've been. John Wick Chapter 4 came out last year, big success, and we're getting spin-off film next year. I saw John Wick Chapter 4 in theaters, and man, it's a great movie. One that just has great action scenes. The practical choreography and stunt work is just fantastic. I'm thinking of this one scene in particular where looks like you're watching the sequence from above because the camera is looking down on this action scene. It was very distinctive. I think Keanu Reeves does good as John Wick. I think it's a good story you have here with good acting. I like the additional things we learn about the world of assassins. The world building in these movies has always been a big strength for them, and I think there's good world building in John Wick Chapter 4 as well. And I like that one of the big ideas running throughout this whole film is that John Wick has, after John Wick lost his wife and then the little puppy that she gave him, he's never been able to find happiness again or have any kind of life outside of being an assassin in this underworld. Therefore, John Wick is actually a tragic character if you think about it. There's very much a sadness to this character where he is lonely after he loses the family that he had in the first film. He's just always been alone. He's had people that he interacts with, colleagues, acquaintances in the underworld, but after the first film, it's not anyone that he really knows on a personal level, that is really like family to him, or even friends. It's just people that he knows professionally from the underworld. There's people who are business partners, acquaintances, colleagues for him, but nothing more personal than that. So by the time you get to the fourth film, you really see what is actually sad about John Wick's character, that he really doesn't have he really doesn't have anything to truly live for. The only thing he's living for is just surviving, trying to get out of the underworld, but he doesn't have anyone waiting for him to come back. He doesn't really have any family or friends. He doesn't really have anyone in his life. It's one of the big ideas actually in John Wick Chapter 4 is that once you're in this underworld, you can't get out of it. For by the end of the movie, John Wick gets shot, and I think at that point, Wick just doesn't care to live any longer because he's thinking, what do I have to live for at this point? I don't have any reason left to keep going. So that's why John Wick dies at the end of part 4. Now, from a financial business standpoint, I was surprised, to be honest, that John Wick seemingly dies by the end of the fourth film, because if you're the studio behind the John Wick movies, surely you'd want to not stop after 4. You'd want to make a John Wick Chapter 5 because, well, these movies have been so critically and commercially successful. But from an artistic standpoint, looking at the story, the themes of this franchise, themes of John Wick Chapter 4, it does make sense for the character to die at the end of the fourth film. Therefore I think this movie was very well done. It's definitely not one that's family friendly. It's R-rated action film, so it's not one you want to take your kids to, parents. It's definitely for adults, but really good. I think it's very much a good thing for the industry that John Wick is a franchise that's continuing to be relevant. So that'll wrap things up for now.